So, hello everyone. Today I have this very nice lens, which is a Nikkor 85 1.8D, and as you can see, it is quite dirty, and this is because it got some water damage. Just let me put some light for you to see. Okay, so you see that dirt inside is inside, not on the front of the lens, as you can see. Just rub it with my finger and nothing happens. And then I think this lens got some water damage, but well, I paid nothing for it. And then on the back of the lens, same thing. You see all this dirt inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to disassemble the full lens, and then we're going to clean it, and then we're going to revive it. Because lucky for us, the electronics seem to be working okay. So let's go for this assembly. So we start this assemble of this lens. As usual, I got prepared my screwdriver tips. So up the cheese ones, and then some flat screwdrivers that I need. Yeah, toothbrush, blower, and then our things will come along. So the disassemble of this lens is rather easy. So first thing we have to do is to remove this band here, which comes off easily, and then there's 3 holes here, and then if you rotate among one of those 3 holes, you'll find a small screw below, which is here. We put some more light probably, and then I'll make some zoom you to see this small screw. So it's a flat screw, and you have to remove this way. And then I even think okay, yeah, you don't have to remove it entirely. You see, I was able just to get it loose, and then if I rotate this element here, this ring, comes out, and then we reach here, and then this is the nice part, is that if I pull this, normally the optical assembly shall come out. Okay, you see, came out. I was a bit stuck because all of the dirt that you're able to see here, and then here we get to the lens, to the element, which is really dirt, and then the rest, let me just do some focusing here, and then here is the rest of the lens. So we'll reach the lenses, but as I told you before, I think we will need to do a major disassembly because there is too much dirt inside. So this is it for the first part of the assembly. Okay, so I got already all the screws pre-loose, and then as I always do this, before removing any screws, because I have already had problems with that, and that is to use a quite big screwdriver here. Just let me zoom out. You see, I use a big one. I use an adapter for the small tips here, just because with the small one that I use here, it's almost impossible to do a lot of torque here, or to push or whatever. So what I systematically do is, when I'm going to untie the screws, I take this thing with a big rubber grip, so I can apply good torque and push as well. So I go very well into the slot of the screw, and then I minimize the risk of damaging the screw head. So that's for it. Then once this is done, I go back to the small screwdriver, which is quite practical to work with anyway, and then I get the screws loose. Then here, okay, here we start by removing these screws here, which is the exterior. I have I prepare already a box in which I will put all the screws in order, so I don't, with the corresponding parts on compartments, so I don't have risk of losing them. So I think this part shall come out now. There's one small blocking screw here usually, and I generally forget about it. Okay, now it seems to work. Pull easily. Okay, up. This is this part. We're just going to take a look at it, because it is very dirty as well, so we'll get that clean as well. Then now we remove the screws that holds the connector. Put them in a different compartment so they don't get mixed, and then I proceed to removing finally the bayonet. That you have the bayonet, which comes out as well, which is not clean either. And then we get to the heart of the lens. And then here, I think I will have to stop the video for a few seconds before proceeding, because I don't remember the exact details on how to proceed. So give me a few minutes. Okay, so I am back, and then to figure it out, I disassemble the lens and then reassemble it again just to show you. You will notice that I forgot to put this, and then just for you to remember, this is not something that you can put at the end. You have to put it before. I will show it anyway, but be careful with this. So starting from here, you remove the aperture ring, which comes out just by pulling. Then you have this metallic part, which when it rotates along with the aperture ring, it moves on this to move the aperture. Then here I had to do quite some work, so there's a few things. Here first you have to remove the housing, which is held by 3 screws here. Okay, you come out. Have a fighting screw. I don't know what the heck is happening with it. Okay, comes out. Then you have the housing, which comes out. You have to actually force a bit. Then it comes out. Very important. Like everything else is a bit dirty. Put it on the side, and then here, very important, this in here you have to remove because many times I forgot to remove it, then I pull something, I break it, and then I'm not happy. Yeah, just disaster. Okay, come on, the screws come out. Okay, so this is the D version. I have another video in which I disassemble entirely 1.8 version, and then there's some slight differences between the two lenses, but then you have a 1.8 and without the D version, and you probably should go and check that video as well. For example, in the non-D version, the electronics just come out. It's just a simple block, a simple PCB which is here, and then you can remove it easily. Okay, now the other thing I had to do was to grind this tip, because the screws holding the rest of the lenses are here, and then they're quite deep. Just let me show you. Yeah, you see, and then the slot is quite deep. Yeah, and be careful as well, they're quite strong. I already got it loose because I disassembled everything before. But be careful with those. Then usually when I reassemble, I don't generally tie the screws like a crazy person, because what I have noticed is that they hold, and then if I have to come back after a while, I won't struggle to get the screws. Okay, so this is it. So I have these two parts now. Let me try to improve the focusing. Okay, beautiful now. And then that's it. So this part, dirt, So we'll get it clean, and then this part here, okay, there's this spacers here which go in here. We'll keep it with this part, and then we have this, which is the moving part, which the exterior seems clean. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it, but I'm not going to disassemble because well, it moves smoothly, and then all the dirt, most of the dirt seems to be placed here in this part. The interior seems quite okay, as you can see here. Yeah. So the interior of the barrel, I'm not going to disassemble, but then I think by now we can give the lens a good clean. If you want to proceed further, you have to remove these screws here. And you can actually remove this stripe here, and then you can remove this, and then you will be able to get this part free, but then it's a pain to put back again. I did it on the version 1.8, you can see that in that video, and then this part of the mechanism it looks exactly the same. So I will clean all the parts, and then we meet for reassembling the lens. Hey friends, I forgot to tell you something, is to remove this part, which is here, that you just simply have to, well, I forced it before a bit, but then you can twist it here, and then I'm able to remove the lens. So we have now all the parts that can be easily clean. We have one element also that I forgot before, and that was the removal of the blades. You see, as I said before, they're obviously rusted, so this we're going to clean as well. Okay, I discovered what actually I forgot here. We were on the last part, we were here, and then I was a bit confused about this blocking part, but then there is something which is really obvious, which is the aperture mechanism, and this is the pin to hold the spring, and then to access this we have to open the lens. I did it before. I got it loose with the lens spanner, and then it's just a matter of screwing this. And then we get this part, which everything else is really dirty. So this goes with the aperture blades, and then we get to the lens here, and then where's my focus? Dim the light, and then we get to this part where all the dirt is. So I think the cleaning will be of the optical parts will be rather easy. So okay, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to show you all the process of cleaning, because I think it's rather boring and everyone now knows how to clean something. Just for you, if this ever happens to you, I hope not. I'm going to use a lot of alcohol here, just to soften these residues of dirt. So, and then once they're really soft, I'm going to use a really soft brush to making them go away. And then once this is done, I will proceed to clean the remainder of the lens. Okay, so now I'm really going to clean it, and then meet you back for the reassembly. Okay, I am back. I got the lenses clean, as you can see here now. Both lenses. It was actually quite easy. Some alcohol, and then the dust was dissolved, and then I was able to wipe easily. So this is the result. Now we can proceed to reassembly the lens. So this is quite easy now. So we have this first element that we have to screw in here. Get rid of the rice grain. Okay, so I screw, I blow. Well, I can do this at last. Let me put some more light. Okay, so this is that's it for this element. I left some fibers when cleaning. Okay, well, let them stick there. Not very important. Now we can proceed to put in the other element. Here we have to be careful with the spacers. So black spacer is going downside. Then here we can take the guide on the screws. Okay, so here, this is what I told you before. You have to be careful here with the focusing gear. So put some light here, so that goes into the hole which is intended to be its axis here, and then like that you can close this two elements together. And then I take my custom screwdriver to put these elements together. So one, I don't tighten very hard immediately. I'll leave this when I have put all the 3 screws, so not so to avoid deforming the frame or whatever. Last screw here. Then I tighten a little bit, not very much, because I don't think it's necessary. Then we come here, I put the contact pins so one screw, second screw, almost there. We put the housing. The cue for the housing is obviously that we have the window, and it has to match with the moving scale. 3 screws for the housing. So far so good, everything looks fine. Then you put the aperture ring. You have this kind of lever here which makes the clicking sound, and then this is done by touching these ribs here. The ribs there. So, and then to put it, you have to tilt it a little bit, so you get in, and then you push, and you get the typical clicking sound. Then you put this element here. To do so, there's one slot which is intended for it, and then you have to move a bit, and then it gets in position, and then when it moves, it makes the lever of the aperture to move. Then what else we have? I can put the bayonet. Cue for the bayonet is obviously the focusing screw. There's one element I forgot to clean. I'll show you which one. Now. I put this part here. not coming in for one reason, I don't know. No. 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 Okay. Just have to wiggle a little bit. I will put the screws just after. Then I go to the front. I got this part already reassembled, so I clean the blades obviously and put it back together. I clean on the inside, then I can put the lens on. The only part which I haven't cleaned yet is the rim here, but I think I'm going to save it for last, because anyway I have to clean again the lens, the front element. So there is this screw here. That goes into the slot here. Put that in. Usually, for this you have to play a bit with the aperture lever. Same time as you wiggle. Okay, I get it in. Yeah. Well, I'm not going all the way down. I don't understand why. I'll just check after. But let's finish the process here. Then it's just a matter of finding the small screw here, tighten it. I won't do it because I'm going to remove once again just for the final clean. This is just for showing you the complete process of reassembly. So the rubber here, then the screws here, and then at the end of the day you get a really nice Nikkor let me open this Nikkor 80mm, which was really nasty in the beginning, as I will show you a picture before and then now. There's some small details like the opening that I have to take care. Then I noticed that I forgot to clean the inner rim. You see the edge here in the bore, here on the interior. But okay, now we have you saw how to disassemble the lens, how to reassemble it again, and then if there is any issues, I think you can solve from now just by checking the video again. But this is it. Thanks for watching and see you next time.